Thank you very much, and thank you to all the witnesses for this morning. Ms. Dichter, thank you for making the extra effort to get here. You could have called in and everybody would have said she snowed in or iced in, I guess was a trick. But thank you, and I think your testimony was very important because what you're doing in your state is exactly what we would like to see the states do, is to take the responsibility, knit the programs together, have a continuum of care and learning for these children, recognizing the sociological differences and economic differences, but the goal is the same for all of the children in Rhode Island or California. I happen to have much more confidence in your state, in my governor and others who are trying to knit this together from kindergarten to transitional kindergarten to early learning and all of that opportunities. And why are we doing it? Because we know it makes a difference. Every family that takes the time to read to their children, to describe colors to their children, that sits, even families where they don't know English or they can't read to their children, if they show that the action is important, the children are different, okay? And the largest pay raise that most middle-income families will get is the day their child leaves childcare and goes to the public schools, okay? It's a big payday, but it's important. They make the sacrifice to make it. Other families don't have the wherewithal to do that. So we're trying to provide that. But I almost think like because President Obama has suggested this program, we're developing a class of sort of like, child care deniers, early learning deniers. The evidence is compelling. It's validated by families who will do anything to get their child into the best early learning atmosphere in all of Manhattan. They will cheat, they will lie, they will do whatever it takes to get their kids and understand the principles of life. But yet we're going to have a denial here. I don't know quite why we're denying it. When we shut down the federal government, they immediately ran to the floor and said, open up the Head Start centers. We're hearing from Head Start parents. It's important that we not miss a lot of days of Head Start for these children. Title I, sequestration, cut it across the board. They immediately restored it now in the first chance they had with the appropriation. And they put in the new money for Head Start and for the expansion programs. They want the states to control it, but they don't want the states to have the resources to do it. It's a little schizophrenic here. They understand that America has come to understand, families have come to understand the importance. And the brain science is compelling. Whether you want to get, Mr. Whitehead, we're all aware of the very toxic trauma that children can live in. And we know the impact. We also know the impact of the opposite of that, an enriched environment, a sustained environment, even in low-income families, even in the poorest families, even in homeless families. That can be transmitted. And we have to meet these children and these families in these various settings, whether they're homeless. I remember the struggle we went when Ed Meese decided that they're homeless because they wanted to be, and then we had to find out what school they could go to, what their address is, and all of that. But we try to provide services because we don't want to lose those children. We don't want to lose those children. And the fact is, we can keep denying. You can say the Perry study is 50 years old. It's been updated all of the time, all through these generations. And it's been supplemented by others, and just the evidence of parents, the evidence of school teachers, and the fact is, if you take kids out of a really good early learning situation and you dump them, as you do in my school, in my congressional district, into some of the worst performing schools in the state, yeah, they're going to start losing ground. So you've got to build that tradition, and we're in the effort of trying to do that with the rewrite of VSEA, and we're giving that to the governors with more authority. So I think we're on a track here that's supported by both parties, but one part just can't quite step up to provide the resources to do it. And yet every day, the validity of the impact and the importance to students is good. And here we're sitting here with a public and a private effort, in many cases a public and private partnership in a number of states, as you point out, Ms. Yellow. And that's true in my state, California. Obviously, you know that very well. And so what's that last kernel of evidence that's going to make you understand that this is important, the government should be doing it? You can keep fooling around with there's duplication or what have you. Yes, we have programs for homeless kids and programs for kids with disability and programs with kids with autism and with, special populations. And we have to sometimes feed kids at the summer playground as opposed to the school. So we have a summer recreational feeding program, and we have an early morning program. We have an afternoon program because that attracts mentors to work with the kids after school. Yes, these are special settings where people find themselves, or their children, where they can take advantage of the best of what this country has to offer with respect to its educational systems and its child development systems. But I guess the debate will continue to rage. It's a tragedy, because every moment we fail to empower you with the resources in Rhode Island or California or anywhere else to form these partnerships, to develop this data, which is so critical in this day and age in terms of real-time information about children. We'll just postpone the future for these children day in and day out. Thank you.